Filipino national have also been set free by Hamas as part of this hostage deal that, remember, has been agreed upon after hectic negotiations that were held behind the scenes, where the state of Qatar had played a major role. And as we speak at this point of time, the images that you are looking at are from the Rafah border crossing and also from the West Bank. There is an exchange of captives for prisoners that is taking place simultaneously as we speak. The Israelis, the Thai nationals and the one Filipino national have been allowed to go. They were handed over to the Red Cross officials. They were boarded into a bus and then taken to the Rafah border crossing, from where they'll be airlifted and then flown into the state of Israel. Now, the Thai nationals and the one Filipino national who have been released, they are said to be predominantly agricultural workers. They were not a part of the deal that was discussed, but they've been allowed to go as a humanitarian measure of goodwill by Hamas. The 13 Israelis have also been allowed to walk free. They've been taken, we are given to understand, to the Rafah border crossing, from where they would be airlifted and then taken to the state of Israel. And our correspondent Jody Cohen is joining us on this broadcast. Jody, we've been talking about what is happening at this moment. Very tense and tenuous scenes, because not till it has it happened. And this is just the first day of the deal that has been agreed upon. There are 3 more days of a ceasefire, of more hostages being released, and of more Palestinians also being allowed to walk free from the Israeli prisons. Bring us up to speed with what is happening there.
Hi, Mohammed. Yes, so we've heard that the 13 Israeli hostages who are being released today, they're now with the Israeli hostages. Israeli media have reported some of their names, and 3 elderly women have been identified. I have to say that it appears to be most of the 13 are elderly women and not the young children as had been expected. There was one person that I've spoken to when I was in the hostages square in Tel Aviv, which is the place where the families of the hostages have been gathering every night since this all happened, to offer moral support to each other and also to keep up awareness of the plight of the hostages in the eyes of the public and also in the international media. So one of the people that I spoke to was a girl called Leela Goa. She's called Goa because her family feel very, very connected to India. 3 members of her family have been released in this partial hostage release deal in this first day. Unfortunately, her grandfather is still being kept hostage, because this Leela had 4 members of her family all taken hostage from near Oz, the kibbutz on the border near Gaza, but her grandfather is being held still in captivity. We've also been hearing that we heard an initial report that 12 Thai hostages were going to be released. We've now seen a report that those hostages are with the Red Cross at present. 10 of them, it's reportedly 11, 10 of them are reportedly from Thailand, and 1 of them is reportedly from the Philippines. And we do know that about 25 other hostages from Thailand are still being held in Gaza.
Now, at this point of time, Jody, there are reports that are coming in that the hostages, the 13 Israeli hostages who were released by Hamas, have now been airlifted and have been brought back into the state of Israel. This is something that's been confirmed by the Israeli Defense Forces. Now, this is just the first batch of the hostages being brought back. We expect another 37 more of these hostages to be released over the course of the next 3 more days of the deal. You know, give us a sense of what the family members of the hostages in Israel are saying. Are they happy with the Netanyahu government for the manner in which it has negotiated to secure the release of these hostages?
Well, the family members whose hostages, the family of hostages who are being released will certainly be relieved. But as I said, in some cases, some of the hostages are being kept in Gaza, who are related to some of the hostages who are being freed. So it's going to be bittersweet on their part. you have to understand that the Israeli public realise that this is not just in Israel's hands when it comes to a negotiation. You've got Hamas, which is a designated terror group in several countries, who went into Israel on the 7th of October and butchered babies, young children, women, handicapped people, differently abled people, elderly, Holocaust survivors. They went into their homes. They didn't just kill them, they tortured them, and there's evidence of this because Hamas went in with GoPro cameras on their bodies and they wanted to record it, and there's hours and hours of evidence of the atrocities that they committed, and the Israeli public they're not going to forget that, and they're also very mindful of the fact that this is who the Israeli government is having to negotiate with. They're obviously not negotiating directly. The negotiations are taking place via Qatar, but they are very mindful of that, they're dealing with a terror organization who could change their minds at any time, who have killed over 1,200 innocent Israeli civilians from their homes on the 7th of October, took 240 people back hostage to Gaza. So you're not dealing with a government here, you're dealing with a terrorist organization, and they're aware of that.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, Jodie Cohen, for joining us and getting us all those details there. This, of course, is a developing story, and we'll, of course, come back to you as more details emerge here. But this, as the situation stands, is what has happened so far. 24 hostages in total have been released, 13 Israelis, 10 Thai nationals and 1 Filipino national. Remember, the Thai and the Filipino nationals have been released on humanitarian grounds. They were not a part of the deal that has been negotiated. It is the 13 Israeli hostages, captives, who have been released as part of this deal. And on the other side, 150 Palestinians, many of them women and young children, who had been languishing in Israeli prisons, have also been released. This WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.